We need like zero.
Okay, why, no, yes. We're gonna have the question, okay. Why did Jesus die on the cross? He forgot his safe word. Try the veal, it's excellent, tip your server.
So now, as you all know, we open up the floor to Q&A. We have some time, you know the drill, line up. We got Kimberly Klein over here ready to kick it off and go nuts.
Go nuts. Yeah, I love nuts. In little bags they come in too.
Nina, thank you so much for being here and for all the work that you've done over the years. What I see happening is that we don't have a very wide representation of porn performers here. Like, we have lots, like, I'm an escort who makes porn, but, you know, I'm mostly an escort. Like, the people who really are making porn, like, how do you think that we can engage them more into this and help them see how decriminalization is good for them, too, that it's not totally separate? Or maybe you feel like it is separate. Can you just talk about that?
I've always said that I make porn because I'm too chicken shit to be a whore. I'm much too middle class to do illegal things. It's like, I can't smell a cop if he's standing on my foot. It's like, really? So I was always very annoyed that I could not talk to someone and say, here's what my time is worth, take it or leave it, without worrying about getting arrested. So for the longest time, porn performers would say things like, I'm not a prostitute, I'm an actress. Okay. You mean looking at Ron Jeremy and saying, I love you believably? Okay, that's worthy of an Oscar. But they very, very much differentiated themselves from actual working girls. Because what they did in California has been legal in California since 1988. So in the last 10 years, the porn star escort thing has become quite popular, but no one talks about it. None of the performers talk to each other about what it is they do when they are touring. So there is because what we do is legal, there is very little political activism or awareness on the part of performers. Plus, so many of them are between the ages of 18 and 24 and don't even know anything. Solidarity? Reagan was he was president, right? So the consciousness is not there, and quite frankly, since 1988, the police action in California against porn sets is not there, and so they live in a little bubble of, hey, it's fine what I do. So they go to a club in Canada and do a show and get arrested for going too far, and then they wonder, so then that's when sex work becomes real to them. But for the most part, they don't have a sense of solidarity with actual direct service providers, because someone else is paying them to fuck somebody else, and the person paying them is not the person they're fucking, so it's not prostitution. I think it's sex work. And one of my friends says, oh, porno, this is home shopping network for hoes. So she would do porn is only to keep her name out there because she was open about being an escort. I don't know. Also in porn, fewer women stay a long time. It's not a lifetime choice, it's a few-year choice, and so they don't have an opportunity to feel part of the community, part of any community. And that idea of solidarity is just completely alien. So I don't know what we can do to get them to see all of us as sisters under the skin, as co-workers, because for them the line, what I do is legal, what you do isn't. Although there are more and more of the porn stars are going to the brothels up in Reno, and I hear horrible stories, and the house takes 50%. It's like, excuse me? 50%. I thought, I know, I'll be a madam, and I'll only take 30%. I realized I would never get a license because the other brothel managers have my hide, and they wouldn't. It's like, okay. So in my heart of hearts, I'm a madam, but in real life, I know that I don't have what it takes to stand up to them. But to answer your question, I don't know what can be done to get pornography performers to see themselves in solidarity with direct service providers. Come on.
Thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you about what you said about ASECT and excluding sex workers. I was wondering if that's recent.
Very recent. I just heard about it 3 days ago.
Okay. And then I was wondering, do you know how they would define sex workers? Like, would they exclude someone like Betty Dodson, who does experiential masturbation?
That's a really good
workshops?
question. From my source, I did not get this from the website. I got it from the source, from a person who he and his partner were both certified as sex educators by ASEC years ago. But his female partner has been a direct service provider, and they didn't decertify her, but they're no longer listing her as a certified sex educator with a stamp of approval from ASEC. He himself, because he's not been a direct service provider, apparently he is still certified as an educator. Today is Thursday. I heard about this Monday. I just found out about it. It's very distressing.
So someone's certified as a sexological body worker or with the International Professionals?
You know, I guess we need to talk to ASEC and find out. From what I understand from my friend, the new president of it is just really squicked out by pornography and sex work. It's like, and you're part of the organization? Really? You know, that was my question. How could such a person become president? I'm not following either. But don't forget, again, for the last 30 years, with Dworkin and McKinnon and all those people they're working their way up in academia, and so they influence thinking. I think Bob Herbert is used to be a flaming liberal on the New York Times ed piece, and he has now taken the Kool-Aid, and a few years back said, well, I'm ready to revisit the First Amendment where pornography is concerned, because pornography is so... How racist are people like Professor Dines? We all know about the DR Congo and the horrific action going there on there, just incredible levels of rape and trauma. Apparently, all this rape in DR Congo is because the soldiers saw Western porn. So, oh, okay, so now you're telling me that black men cannot see white women fucking without having gotten hurt somebody. And they have the nerve to say this in public.